and can be used against you in a court of law. Joking. We are here tonight, and we're so glad to have y'all here. We are going to be talking about fall scents, because today is the first full day of fall. So I have rejected this idea because I absolutely love summer, but it's really funny because last week I actually put a fall blend in my diffuser and I was melting. I was just like, yeah, this is the thing. So how many here have a diffuser? Okay, good. How many here? Okay, somebody is saying I need help. I need help y'all because I'm in diffusing. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat. How many here would, like, what is your favorite season? Is fall your favorite season?
Yes.
Really? Okay. I will embrace that.
Well, excuse me. It's not my favorite season in Florida, though.
Okay. Because you probably don't
fall up north is my favorite.
And I like where I live in Tennessee, and I like where I live because we get a taste of all four seasons. We don't get harshness in hardly any of them, which is great, but we do get that. We're starting to see the colors change. We're starting to see the occasional leaf fall. So I'm ready, sort of. I'm still kind of hanging on to summer as much as I can, but I've had to embrace the fact that it really is fall. So, how are some of the ways, in the past at least, you can be honest, that you have tried to make fall come into your home? Like, is it decorations? What are some of the scents? How do y'all go about that? Candles, boo, yes. Oh, sweaters. Okay, I see some chats. Those are good ones, sweats. And this, like yesterday, or this morning, I actually had to put on long pajama bottoms and fuzzy socks so that I could go outside and drink my coffee. And lots of decor, okay, bringing in maybe real, like, leaves from outside, or maybe even just pumpkins and things like that. I saw one where somebody took a toilet roll and took fabric, or actually tissue paper, and stuffed it all the way in and then stuck a stick inside, and they made a pumpkin. And it's reusable later, it's recyclable later. So these are some of the things that maybe, if you have done candles, we're going to start be talking to you about candles and why you may not want to be doing that. We're going to share with you some ways with essential oils that you can bring some amazing fall scents into your home, and also that they're going to be safer for you physically, but also they're going to be safer for you overall. There's just so many ways. So as you type in, if you want to type in a favorite fall scent that you would like us maybe to try to balance, like apple pie, for instance, cinnamon roll. Okay, that's a good one. I was going to say, and apple cider, maybe another. So you type in while we keep going, and then Joyce is going to start to tell us about why we should ditch the candles.
Hey everybody. So why you should ditch candles, and I hope you guys can hear me. One of the reasons is indoor air pollution. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but your home can generally be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air. And it's largely because of burning things like candles, some of the toxic household products you use. Candles can cause what's called toxic chemical burden or bioaccumulation. And what that means is it's a gradual accumulation of chemicals and toxins in your body that come from, I mean, it can come from anything: food, water, air, personal care products, candles. Burning candles can also weaken your immune system. It can cause respiratory issues. It can affect your hormones. It can, if you have asthma, it can affect that, respiratory infections, skin allergies, all kinds of problems. It can cause headaches, migraines, and also they're hazardous. You would not keep a candle lit at night when you go to bed. However, with the diffuser, because they will turn themselves off, you could have the diffuser going while you go to sleep, and you don't have to worry about it, and it's not poisoning you, it's not putting toxins in the air, and you can, depending on how many oils, you can have a ton of different scents. So, overall, it's just not good to burn candles in your home. And those are just some of the reasons you should ditch them. So now Peggy's going to tell you why candles are harmful.
I believe that's some of what Hannah's going to be showing us with these slides, but there are a lot of different reasons that candles already, many that Joyce just said, but one is like the fire hazard, because it's really easy for a pet to, maybe like a cat, to jump up on a table and knock a candle over, or, you know, if you have a cloth there, it might get jarred, all kinds of ways. And plus, if you're not paying attention, they can actually burn down. And then that doesn't mean they stop. That means like the glass could break and all kinds of things could happen. There are house fires every year, multiple house fires due to candles. So we just really don't need to be burning candles. Not to mention the fact that if you look at your ceiling above a candle, it's usually black. And if that's black and that's that far away, guess what's going on inside your body? The toxic, there's like the wicks, a lot of times have lead in them, and we all know that lead is toxic to us. Candles a lot of times contain phthalates, formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is what is preserving like that specimen in a biology lab to keep it from deteriorating, and it's really not good for us. And it can have a lot of harmful chemicals in it. And these chemicals are not listed usually among the product's ingredients because they're considered trade secrets. So like if you've got a branded candle, they don't want everybody to know what products are in it. And so they kind of get by with not telling you what's in it. A key word to look for is the word fragrance. It will be fragrance, or what is that other word? Parfum. You know, perfumes, parfum. Those are some of the words that you might see. And there was actually a ruling many years ago to begin to preserve and protect the perfume companies from having to give out their formulas, so that, you know, they're proprietary. So they get by with just putting the word fragrance on there, but that can actually hide as much as like over 3,000 chemicals. 3,000 chemicals that here in America we don't ban, and places in the world are banning. And we just said at one point in time, you know, well, we'll look at chemicals that are new, but we're just going to grandfather in everything else. So we have all of these chemicals in our lives, and it's not good. But also don't forget that a lot of times you will go someplace and you can buy essential oils that are really, really, really cheap. And if they're cheap, that's because they're really not essential oils, or they might have a small amount of something in them that could be considered essential oils, but really they are filled with fillers and solvents and chemicals. And what I didn't know at all was that there are really good scientists out there, I mean, successful scientists out there that have figured out how to make a chemical version of the essential oil that's it's very difficult to detect. Problem is, it doesn't have the healing and healthful constituencies that our essential oils have, and it's bad for us. Anything chemical that is synthetic to our bodies, our body doesn't know what to do with it, and it's bad for it. So the majority of the candles contain paraffin. We all know that's the wax, you know, the paraffin in the candles, but that's a petroleum-based waste product. It's not just petroleum-based, it's a petroleum-based waste product. And when you're burning that, it releases the same toxic chemicals that you would find in oil and gasoline. And those toxins are released from the candles, and they've done studies and they've shown it's the equivalent of secondhand smoke. And we all know how bad secondhand smoke is for us and what it gets into our lungs, and candles are just as bad. So we've got to ban the candles. But it's not just about let's get rid of. Let's replace it with something so much better for us. So Joyce is going to talk about why diffusing is better.
Okay, so diffusing is better just because, in my opinion, I think it's better. But diffused oils actually can clean the air of airborne allergens such as pollen, mold, spores, dust, and pet dander. Now, I suffer from asthma, and I have yet to have an issue no matter what I have diffused in my diffuser. So I can attest to that using that is definitely better for me. They can eliminate and destroy airborne germs, bacteria, and viruses. And they actually can support your immune and respiratory system, and they definitely boost your moods. Plus, they're cheaper. So if you can go out and research and try to find candles that don't have all the toxic stuff, but you're going to pay 30, 40, $50. It's going to burn for what, 3, 5, 6 hours versus a bottle of essential oil, which could last you forever. And one of the examples I like to use is I like Christmas Spirit. For those who don't know, both my parents are deceased now, but when I burn that, it reminds me of when my mom would decorate for Christmas, and she would get the little cinnamon brooms and just decorate the whole house. And I've yet to find a candle that does that. And the other cool thing about diffusing is you can create your own scents. You may not necessarily be able to get exactly what the candle did, but it may turn out better. And a candle is just one thing. You burn that candle, that's the only scent. You can add different oils to your diffuser and just create your own, and things like that. So that's why I think diffusing is better, not just for your overall health, but because it just smells better. So now Peggy's going to talk to you about how to make your home smell good with oils this fall.
Okay, so you're here and you're either already with Young Living or somebody has invited you to the class, and we're going to talk to you about how can you get these wondrous plant products into your home. We have what we call the Premium Starter Kit, which is a diffuser. You can see it in the picture, and the oils that are listed there, and it has so many. It has 10 in the top tray, 2 in the bottom, and this one right here in the middle called Thieves is amazing. It's like fall in a bottle because it's clove and cinnamon. I love putting citrus oils with it. You can see some of the who doesn't like snickerdoodles, right? Thieves and Stressway, because Stressway has vanilla in it, so it smells amazing. So it smells like just a wonderful cookie. And then you've got Thieves and lavender, so you get that fall breeze. The sweater weather is Thieves and Citrus Fresh. All of these are in your Premium Starter Kit, and whoever invited you to this class can help you get the kit and get started. Crisp Leaves is frankincense and citrus fresh. Any of the tree oils, you can go beyond the kit. There are other ways, like this is one way. This is one entryway into Young Living, and it's a great one. But you could also build your own fall kit, whether it's with oils and like the basic kit. Basic kit will give you that membership just like the Premium Starter Kit does. The Premium Starter Kit, to be honest with you, is your best bang for your buck because you're getting 12 perfectly selected oils for all the things. You're getting the Ninja Red, you're getting the Thieves Household Cleaner sample, you're getting well, I don't think you get the Thieves. You get the Thieves spray, and you get the Thieves hand sanitizer, and the roller fit mitts, and information, and our groups, and us, and education. But you can also build your own kit by having, for instance, the basic kit, which it has the Stress Away and Ninja Red in it, and several other things. $35 gets you in the door, gets you the 24% off forever, and then you get to customize and add what you specifically want, which may be false scents, maybe certain oils that you want to have that we give you recipes for, or it may be that you want products like the Thieves Household Cleaner, the Thieves Chest Rub, the hand sanitizer in the larger bottle, the laundry soap, the dish soap. There's all kinds of ideas. The Ninja Red Super C. We all need vitamin C right now. The Thieves Cough Drops. I keep bags and bags and bags of these year round. All of those would be Inner Defense is another one, which is a great one to have. It's a little gel cap that you can take to just help support your immune system. So these are ideas for what you could put in with your basic kit. Build your own kit and have your fall kit ready, and whoever brought you into this class can help you choose those specifically for you. Get you on Essential Rewards, which is our reward program. Ooh, Chai Spice, love Chai Spice. Get you on our Essential Rewards program, which is a program that has all these built-in extras. You get percentage back in points, and that increases the longer you're in it. You can use those points to actually get back to free product. If your order goes above 100 PV, then which is basically dollars, it's free shipping. And so and you get promos every month if you're in and ordering, and especially ordering in ER. So if you can see behind me, all these oils in different places, most of all these have been free. I've gotten them through promos through my Essential Rewards program. And I don't stockpile on purpose. Like I don't buy, I will keep certain things. Do not ever want to be out. Like I never want to be out of thieves year round. I don't ever want to be without frankincense year round. These are oils and more, Root-of-all and others I use every day, and I don't want to be out of them. So I make sure I have my stash, but I also have extras because I get all this free stuff. So that is just as like fast as we could run to really throw it out there. But Hannah is giving you a lot of great slides. You can capture these with screenshots, or you can ask him. We could possibly get these for you if you want to have them yourself because you've come to the class. And if somebody's watching this by recording, you can let the person know. And if you tell us you've gotten to this point, you heard you could have these, then we know that you watched the video, and we will get many of these. Like Sophie says, she can text them to you. We can definitely get these to you. Pumpkin spice. Oh, these. I'm actually looking forward to these diffuser blends. So I know that my mind is starting to shift to fall. I'm a summer person for sure. But we want to open it up and let you ask questions, whether it's about a particular blend, because we've talked a lot about the smells of these. And I just want to point out that our emotions, the reason we love the smells is we connect it to a good experience or an emotion or a person, an event, maybe Thanksgiving or Halloween or firesides or whatever, pumpkin pie, something like that. And that is our the emotional seat of our brain is only affected by the sense of smell, which is incredible when you think about it. So these go beyond just that we like the smell. It actually supports us emotionally and mentally. And it also, there are wonderful benefits, health benefits to like these oils I'm looking at on the screen right now. Cinnamon bark, clove are high in antioxidant levels, ORAC levels. There you go. She's showing them to you. Ginger. This is a wonderful combination right here, and I love putting orange because orange makes me think of Christmas too. With mulled spices. You can have that smell going all the time without maybe the sugar overload of having the drink going all the time. So we do want to open it up to questions. If anybody's got any questions about anything we talked about. Did you know, for instance, that information about candles? Because I didn't until fairly recently. Okay, we're going to do the Sophie thing, and we're going to start staring you down.
I saw someone's story the other day about the diffuser being on and actually purifying the air, and that was the first time that I had ever known that it actually was good for the air and didn't just smell good. That was cool.
Yeah, and I remember that moment for me too. And so I get it. I know where you're coming from, and I'm glad that you saw that. But yeah, I mean, even just the blend purification. It's I as a matter of fact, totally separately from Young Living, I just had somebody asking, what do you do when your dog got in with a skunk? And people were telling like what to wash the dog with. Well, I added in diffuse purification in your house and add the purification in with the wash that you're doing on your dog, because I put it in my laundry. It's great to just clear the air and make it really fresh and clean after maybe burned a meal. Not that I ever do that.
Something kind of in that same vein. I like that, we can talk about how candles are just not good. They're not good for you. They're not a good product. Honestly, they're I can make an argument for they're a waste of money. You know, they're a lot of money for these things, even when they're on sale, you know, and then they're chunky, you have to store them somewhere, you know, whatever. But what's really cool to me about diffusing is that the essential oils are good for you, not just not bad. You know, they're not this neutral, you know, they don't do anything bad to you, but it's not like they help your health. Well, if I'm diffusing thieves in a really nice little blend, I mean, pumpkin spice that Hannah has on the screen right now, a lot of those oils are in the thieves blend. And so when I diffuse that, I'm supporting my immune system. Like candles hinder my immune system.
Right.
Oils don't do nothing. They actually do the positive. They help my immune system. So yes, they purify your air. Yes, they go in and they make sure that that like indoor air is not the most polluted, you know, air that we breathe and that kind of stuff, but they're just good for our bodies. And I think that's awesome. So they're cheaper than most candles and like they last longer. You can, you know, make them, you can switch up the recipes each day. Like it's super easy, you know, whatever, but also you're supporting your body well. Like that's a cool benefit of a candle replacement.
I agree. And you can even take like I take my empty bottles. If you're starting out and you don't have empty bottles, you could, you know, buy some bottles or ask me and I'll send you like a bag full of them because I have so many. But you could mix this blend up in massive quantities. Like instead of 3 drops of cinnamon bark, let's say you did it by 10 and you put 30 drops and then, you know, everything by 10 or by 5 or whatever, and you mix it up in what we call a diffuser bomb, and then it's already pre-mixed and you're not having to grab 5 bottles every time you want to do this blend. And then you can take it to every diffuser in your house. By the way, I have one in every room in my house, you know, and I advocate for that. Take it to work with you. Have it ready to go. Give a small sample to somebody and let them put it on, you know, like make them a little diffuser for their car or something that you can make out of felt and put it on a clothespin or something and have them put it on there. Or you do that for yourself. Wear it with diffuser jewelry, but you can have it all mixed up. And it's a really efficient way. And again, when I do that, instead of carrying 5 bottles around, I'll just make a bomb and then I can take it to all my diffusers. I love doing that, especially for something. But you know, we've talked about the cost comparison. A candle can cost $25. And if you get it on sale, you might find them for 10, but probably it's like a year old. Who knows? And then you're, as Sophie's saying, you're adding bad to your air, and yet with essential oils, which it's going to cost you a couple of dollars to burn, like a candle will burn, I think, for like 10 hours, something like that. And if you do this, the equal amount of like this blend right here on the screen, and you did the math, you're talking dollars. You're not talking $25. So it's much more cost effective, and that diffuser just keeps going and going and going. It's good for you. And I've thought of that so many times lately. We focus a lot on removing things out of our lives, but we need to think about like, what are we adding, not just as a replacement, but what are we adding as valuable back and getting our health back in the process.
I wanted to add too with this particular blend. What I really like about oils is like, this is a candle replacement, but this is also the blend that I use to make pumpkin spice creamer for my house.
Yeah.
And I can't take a candle and turn it into creamer, but I can turn oils into creamer. Like that to me is really cool. And then I'm saving money because I'm not buying my pumpkin spice at the coffee shop. I'm making it at home. And if you're not a coffee person, these same oils are really good. Mix them with some honey and just pour some hot water, or you can still use a tea bag. But I personally just like putting these in a little bit of honey, mixing them together already, pouring some hot water over. And it's just such a good fallish tea. And once again, super beneficial because these are all the oils that are really great for our immune system.
Right. And these are all in our Vitality line. We know that these can be ingested. Young Living is the only one that has Vitality line oils that are we're compliant with the FDA by being able to differentiate and say which ones can be ingested. So if they're in our vitality line, you know that they are GRAS certified, meaning generally regarded as safe. So all of these are in it. So I was even thinking when you were saying creamer, I thought you were going to say you made a pumpkin pie from it.
Oh yeah, pumpkin pie. I mean,
Yeah.
all the things. These are what you need for Thanksgiving too. These
Yeah.
are all the oils we use for Thanksgiving, all your fall baking. I mean, you can't do that with a candle.
Oh,
You're
and
gonna
now
melt a candle down and put it in some muffins.
go get some pine cones and put some drops of this on your pine cones and stick them in a bag and then seal them for like a couple of weeks, and it will really absorb that smell and take them out, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, this would be a good blend to do on the pine cones, the pine and the cinnamon and orange.
Yep.
Make sure y'all are screenshotting these. And like she said, these are all the ones that if you have a starter kit already, you can make all of these blends already. So you've already got a good basis for fall scents. But then you got to get these.
Natasha's saying that if anybody needs pine cones, I'm not looking at the rest of it, but I'm assuming she's offering. I actually had a hard time finding pine cones because if you go to this, if you don't have them around, because I don't have a lot of pine trees around me, if you try to go find them in the store, they're probably already pre-scented. And if you haven't done this yet, when you get away from toxins and you get away from the plug-ins and the candles and the air sprays and all of that, you're going to become, in a good way, sensitized so that when you walk in the store, that hits your head and you'll have that immediate headache. When I smell those cinnamon pine cones, and it almost makes me want to be sick. It's a sick feeling because I'm so far away from toxins that I really, really am sensitive to them now.
Peggy, if I can mail pine cones to Tennessee, I will mail you some pine cones.
I will let you, because I've looked for them and it's really hard to find them. I mean, when I lived in Georgia, I told people you can find those pine cones that are like huge in Georgia, and people didn't believe me. So I was like, I'm getting you one.
Chelsea, is this the one you need me to go back to? This is the one you need me to go back to, Chelsea? Okay, good. Sorry. Okay, I would like for somebody to challenge us. I posted this on my social media and nobody has given me a challenge yet, so I'm going to challenge y'all. What is your favorite candle scent? Because I bet we're all essential oil masters here right now. I bet we could come up with an essential oil blend that would replace it. So if you have a hang up, you're like, oh, but I really like this scent and there's probably not an oil. There probably is. So we're challenging y'all. What is your favorite candle?
Trying to think. I had one years ago and it seemed like it was white ginger or something. I know the word white and I know the word ginger was in it. And I do love ginger.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that ginger essential oil should probably be in that blend.
Maybe.
Okay, so when I told Lindsay
Yeah.
about today's class, she said, which I don't know why they're not on here, but I will have a talk with them later. She likes the smell of the leaves from up north and the snow and the smell, and she wanted a scent like that. I said, okay, I will talk to everybody, see what we come up with.
I actually did a blend recently called Leaves, and it was amazing. Hang on, let me look that one up.
I remember.
Northern Lights in it. I remember Northern Lights was in it because the second you said leaves, Northern Lights makes me think of.
I think it was that and pine.
I think Northern Lights Black Spruce was one of the first oils that I realized I craved. I mean, if somebody had told me that, I would have said, I'll like it, I'll dislike, I'll probably like it certain times, but I literally craved it. I got to that point with frankincense also, especially frankincense with something, with various things. I didn't like it before. What did you get with
Leaves? Leaves is 4 drops of Northern Lights Black Spruce, 3 drops of orange, 3 drops of cedarwood, and 1 drop of cinnamon bark. So, Lindsay, when you're rewatching this later, there you go.
Say it again, Sophie, please.
Actually, I'll type it in. 4 drops of Northern Lights Black Spruce, 3 drops orange, 3 drops cedarwood, and 1 drop cinnamon bark.
I have a question with a lot of these holiday scents. I'm looking here at scents that are bad for dogs, and cinnamon is one. I believe it said pine also. Like there's a lot of things that I like in the house during Christmas time, but it looks like they're not dog friendly. Does anybody know of, a way to make things that would be dog friendly and smell like the holidays?
So I personally have not had issues with diffusing any Young Living essential oils, even the ones that if you do Google them might come up as being dangerous. I've not had any issues with my dogs. Really the biggest thing, which I don't know if you were in, we did a pets and oils class over the summer, but the biggest thing is as long as you're following some safety rules, like not locking them in the room, watching them and making sure that they don't have any adverse effects to it. But I personally have not had any issues. And you just don't have to use a whole lot of the oils, so it's not like overloading their senses and things like that. So I personally have not had any issues with those oils or any oils at all with my dog.
And I will tell you a really good idea that I heard about, and I've heard a lot of good ideas, but one is let's say you ask your dog, like you're going to introduce an oil and you're going to say, obviously you don't ask them the question, but don't open the bottle and stick it in front of their nose. That is overload for them. It can be overwhelming for us, but their sense of smell is multiple times what ours is. So a couple of things you can do is keep the lid on and let them smell the bottle. Now, it could still be too strong for them. So they may react by pulling back, but they also may come back in. Or you're going to kind of be able to watch them to see what they like. But I heard this one the other day that I thought was really cool. Line up bottles, put about, maybe 12 inches between them, 18 inches, whatever, and line up bottles and let your animal come up to them. They may actually start licking the bottles because they like it so much. And just, let them give you an idea of what they do and don't like. Now, I don't know where you got your information, so I'm not questioning your information. I'm just saying I don't know where you got it. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but you can obviously we're not taking cinnamon and dropping it on the dog. We're not putting a lot on them. If I put any oils on my dogs, and I do, I put them in my hands and then I stroke their fur. And I put it usually behind where I'm not going to even worry about them licking. I don't even want that issue. I don't want you to think about it. But they literally absorb through their hair, their fur. You do not have to ever get to their skin. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but I used to do Roundup on my dogs. Not Roundup, sorry. What is the not Roundup, sorry.
Line.
I did not say that. Frontline. And I would find their skin at the back of their shoulders and put it on there. And my dogs would actually cringe because it hurt. And I just I'm not doing this anymore. And it got to where it wasn't working. And my vet was even saying, I don't like that anymore. So they started other things, and you can soak their collars. There's things you can do for the pests that dogs might have, but that's one of the things. The other is, if you're going to use purposely an oil on a pet, introduce it in a non-conflict time. So if I need to use oils on my dog because of a fear of storms, I don't always want to pull that oil out when they're in fear, because then they negatively associate it. So you want it to be a part of your petting and your good time and your bonding time. And then it's going to be a comfort to them when they need it. So I would think about trying these, keep an eye on them. As Hannah was saying, let them leave the room. And if all of a sudden they're not around, and they usually are, that's a clue.
Basically, I'm not trying to belittle what people say about oils, but it's a lot of fear mongering. Personal opinion here, but it's a lot of freaking fear mongering, and it ticks me off Because if you're a good dog mom, and I'm going to assume that you are because you looked this up and you thought that through, which is a really good sign that you're a good dog mom, like you're already going to be cautious. You know, like you don't just naturally introduce literally anything in your home. You make sure that your dogs are okay with it. And so to me, advice I give to people is start low and go slow. It's something that a lot of us like to use. And it's simply make sure that they're comfortable with it, use it a little bit at a time, build it up, and make sure that they have, you know, they're able to get away from the scent if they don't like it. The end, like the end. Instead, a lot of sources are like, this is toxic beyond belief. And it's like, they let a dog drink an entire bottle of that oil and they didn't react well. So anyway, that's my personal opinion, but I want to empower you, Denise, do what you feel comfortable with. But we see that kind of regularly where it's like, this is completely horrible for you. And it's like, well, guess what? I have never guzzled 90 drops of an oil. So
I probably get sick too.
yeah.
Well, actually, after saying that, I thought about it, and I do burn, not that I will anymore, candles during the holidays. And actually, when you think about it, they're probably loaded with the same thing. I just don't know the ingredients of them. But
Yep.
obviously, if they smell like these things, then they must have them in them.
Well,
So,
and
Point. And they have the toxins that maybe your dogs don't like, you know, and you don't realize it. So that's something too. Some of my friends have had either children or pets or even themselves go from having migraines frequently to the reduction from behavior issues to not so bad, you know. And I'm not making the claim that that's, you know, the one reason, but when you get rid of something that has chemicals in it, you reduce your body's like, having to tolerate something that's harsh. So
right.
can we all just like give Denise a round of applause that she is saying that she is not doing candles anymore? Like, you're the teacher's pet. Good job.
Yeah, that's what this is about. And as you were talking, I was thinking some of those things. If the candles are bad for us, they're really bad for the dogs. And not just the fire hazard, which is an issue, but they're so much more sensitive to smell that it's impacting them a whole lot worse than it's impacting us. And that's, as Sophie was saying, the fear mongering, it's out there for sensationalism only. Sometimes it's just about how viral this can go. It doesn't matter if the information is horrible, and I can poke holes all the way through it when I read these stories. But we also, you know, we'll throw the baby out with the bathwater because we love our pets and we want to be careful around them. There's, I do have a animal desk reference that I'm not even sure if it's available anymore, but there's one called Dr. Melissa Shelton's Animal Desk Reference that a veterinarian that uses Young Living recommended to me. So if you want a reference to know about your animals, that would be a good one. And I could
sorry to go back to it, but Mom had mentioned earlier white ginger something. And I said ginger, stress away, and orange. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I just said what my heart wanted me to say.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try it, and I'll let you know if it tastes like if it tastes like white ginger or smells like it.
I'm wondering too if it would be like kind of a Christmas spirit and ginger. You know what I mean? Like maybe that would be a good combination, because I'm thinking it needs to be like light and fresh, like ginger ale with like a little foam going on.
Oh, let me tell you. Well, number one, Christmas spirit has orange in it, I think, or tangerine. Right. It has one of them.
Orange.
I got the kids' roll-on collection yesterday, and so I got the kids. What is it called? Kids Power. And when they say it smells like an orange creamsicle, it smells like an orange creamsicle. So can you imagine that with like thieves? And I just diffused it yesterday and I liked it, but I'm going to have to add it to, like, maybe put some ginger in.
All right. Any other candle favorite?
I want to add my favorite. Can I tell two of my favorites? Unless somebody has something better. If any of the people besides me have something, a blend that they want to say. I have two that I wanted to share besides the one we shared. In my first one, I diffuse it pretty much all fall up to Christmas. It's Christmas Spirit and Lime. I call it Hawaiian Christmas. So good.
I've never added lime. That sounds good.
Christmas spirit and lime. So good. Hawaiian Christmas. Melikaliki Maka. Yeah.
So
You got to play that song. Yeah. Okay, so that's one. And then I like apple pie, which is cinnamon bark, lemon, and stress away. I think you can throw thieves in there too. I don't know. Sometimes I just kind of throw, but I like apple pie. So that's like.
fun, random. Everybody's different, right? So like different oils smell different to different people. So there's an oil called sclerescence that's really good for your hormones. It smells like apple pie to me, straight up. Like it's the weirdest thing. Every time I smell it, it smells like apple pie. Doesn't matter what time of the month it is. Doesn't matter what I just ate that day. Doesn't matter how I'm feeling. Like smells like apple pie.
It had never smelled like apple pie to me until one day she goes, "Hey, go smell this and tell me what it smells like." I'm like, she goes, does it smell like apple pie to you? And I go, yeah, I'm a weirdo like you too. So that one you could just diffuse and it'd smell like apple pie.
That is
You
cool.
can open the oven though.
I did.
Okay.
I opened it. Do you want to close it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and close it. I don't want
Now
to.
you have all the scents you need to fill your home with amazingness for the fall.
I put the Dr. Melissa Shelton's Animal Desk reference in the chat if you want to look at it and write that down. If anybody, I've got it as a note in my phone, so I was able to find it. I
like the Hawaiian Christmas because that's like summer and Christmas in one.
It smells so good. It's just so good.
I love it. Awesome.
Well, this all made us happy. I mean, getting to think about these wonderful scents and just realizing the connections that we have to these and the happy. I mean, we've talked about the health and physical benefits of these, but think about the emotional and mental ability that this has to just make us happy. That's a good thing. So we got to think of all the things. But unless anybody else has anything to add or ask about, somebody asked about banana bread. That was in the chat.
Oh yeah, I saw that and then we totally got sidetracked. It's up here. Tabs. Sorry, Tabs. Banana bread. We got to think of a banana bread recipe for her.
I think Stressway's got to be in it because it's got to have that vanilla.
This way, I feel like nutmeg. Nutmeg or cinnamon.
Yeah,
What's going to be the banana though?
that's going to be tough. I mean, well, like apple pie, we don't have apple. We use,
That's true.
because it's really the spices that are in it that you smell.
Yeah.
Like you don't really smell banana. You just smell that wonderful.
Yeah.
I also heard this the other day that I thought was interesting, and it's the idea of, have you ever asked people to describe a smell? And can they describe it without it including something? There's like a couple of different categories, but one is like taste. Is when we think of a smell, we actually think of a taste. And so it'll be sweet. We'll talk about sweet. We'll talk about, even, well, not earthy. I wouldn't think that's a taste, but unless you've eaten dirt before, which you might have. But, you think everybody has. Okay. But
no, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
how do we describe smells? If you are relating it to something, cardamom, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I'm going the wrong way.
The sand. Yeah.
I feel like cardamom too. I was thinking that too, Tosh. So maybe like cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, stress away. I don't know. Banana bread smells so yummy.
Yeah. If it just invokes that thought.
One with like lemon would be a good one, just to like get close to the banana.
I don't know. Does lemon smell like bananas to you?
Does stress away smell like bananas to you?
It smells like the vanilla in banana bread to me.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. I lied. We're not that great. We're not that great of pros at this, but we're working.
Tab said, speaking of dirt, we went to get ice cream at Baskin Robbins yesterday. My husband asked what the flavor tasted like, and all the staff said dirt all at once.
Not trying that one.
You're like, nope, not trying that.
I think that would be one of the 33 flavors or something. We're not going to.
It is funny that you said that though, Peggy, because yesterday I went to go buy Epsom salt, and obviously I want the unscented because I don't want the grody scented stuff. And when I walked into the pharmacy, I just asked the lady where it was because I just didn't want to have to struggle bus. And she goes, "So we have it over here, and we have that's the plain, and then this is the flavored." And I was like, "Yeah, in case I want to eat it later." So it's funny that you say like scented things, we think of flavors, but I guess we use them kind of interchangeably if you think about it.
We do, and we don't. I mean, obviously, we use our own English language very poorly most of the time. But when it was very interesting, and you think about most of the time when you're describing a smell, you're describing either an event, an emotion, or a taste, like something that has to do really with taste, like something you've eaten even, in the descriptive words we use, because how else do we describe a smell?
Besides how it like makes us feel,
Yeah.
or
Makes us feel like the crisp air of fall, or it makes us think of a person, an event, something like that. And that's the connection that is so huge between emotions and smells, which I love. I love thinking about, as a matter of fact, next week we're doing a class on emotional support. So it's just important to realize that connection and to understand that the emotional seat of our brain is only impacted by the sense of smell. And we can actually open up cells and release cellular memory and get trauma out of our life through using our essential oils or using smells to help unlock and replace with good. Because again, you take something out, you need to put something good back in its place. So,
like a cozy fall diffuser blend.
yes, yes. I mean, when you think about, like, we have a blend called Sweater Wet Weather. What's that got to do with smell? I mean, how many of you go sniff your sweaters? Yeah, and so crisp leaves. I mean, I a lot of times we think of fall and we think of damp and not really something that, but it's the crisp air and just the feeling we get from being out there and the change of season and looking at the leaves changing and what that makes us feel like. And if we can get something that it invokes that emotion, it makes us think of that, and it's kind of interesting. It's just a really interesting process. So I really appreciate y'all coming and contributing. This has been fun. I've loved going through, and thank you, Hannah, for sharing these different slides. I hope most of you were able to grab those ideas. And for anybody watching later on the recording, you could also grab those ideas, but also you can ask us for them and we can send them to you by text, whoever got you in here. And unless there's anything else, I guess we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Glad you're here. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good to see the faces.